Welcome everyone to a special edition here of Tack Talks Football. We went ahead and did this a little earlier than normal, so we're going to discuss the first round games of the U.S. men's national team group. We'll talk about lineups. We'll talk about what changes. We'll talk about what worked, what didn't, and then we'll kind of enter into the discussion of the game against Australia and then Turkey, obviously, after that. Dad, go ahead.
Yeah, sounds good. Just a quick hello to the two of you. Great to see you again. Great to see the grandbabies as well. Yeah, we've got a good set of discussion topics, I think, for uh, this group. Rather interesting group, I would say. And then for future, just so you all know, we're planning on pulling in some guests, some pretty high profile guests. And as soon as we understand the technologies associated with that and how to get them all linked in, we'll probably do that. So, Jason, over to you. What do you think about the Paraguay match and the Turkey Australia match?
Well, it was very, very interesting to see because I don't think I was projecting that, if I'll be honest with you. But I think, and I don't want to take all your guys' thunder, but I think this will be kind of the same topic that you guys have here is the simple atmosphere of the game. Just to see everyone so ecstatic about being there, about seeing the first World Cup game here in the States in a long time, and seeing the stadiums, how beautiful the stadiums are now. I mean, the stadiums that they're playing at are absolutely just gorgeous. I mean, most of these are NFL stadiums, obviously, and the technology and the pitch that they put down on the stadiums, because most of the NFL stadiums are obviously turf. Not all of them, but some of them, most of them are turf, and transforming it into a grass pitch. I mean, that's just the fields are absolutely gorgeous. The stadiums are absolutely gorgeous. The watching the national team flag that big on the field before they play is absolutely gorgeous. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just it's hard even if you're not a national team fan for the US. It's hard to not say that was absolutely beautiful what just happened
It's the
and
pageantry of a
not
World
become
Cup,
a
man.
fan at some point for
Yeah,
the US,
yeah,
especially if they go further in the rounds here.
yeah. Pageantry of the United States. That's what we do. It's just amazing. I think we've all saw Alexi Lawless and the emotions that came out of him thinking back on his 94 World Cup days and what happened there. And now, um, to see the pageantry and such an incredible Star Spangled Banner rendition and the fans going absolutely nuts. It was pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, and that comes down to my first point. I think Paraguay was so overwhelmed with the atmosphere that was involved, and the credit to the states for really supporting this group, and quite frankly, for the players to be playing as good as they did, created this overwhelming atmosphere, and it was, I mean, just one simple word, just proud. I mean, I was so proud to see
Mhm.
what occurred that day. It looked like we were a country united with a team that just could go really, really far in this tournament. And but
More
well, at least
fans
we
and more
hope.
fans will jump on the
Yeah,
bandwagon the further
Yeah,
they
yeah,
well,
go. I
it's what
yeah.
guarantee it.
happened. That's what happened back. When the Portugal game happened years and years ago. Remember that when we were actually winning the game until the last foolish minute of one such player
Yep.
I won't mention. Uh,
Well, and that's going to be the challenge for the U.S. I mean,
it
we
is.
do have a lot of players that played on the World Cup, the last World Cup, and so we do have some good experience there. But we also have a few that this is a first time for them, and
Yeah.
I could tell you our starting 11 was compromised of everybody that usually started at the last World Cup, with the exception of Freeman and
Freeze.
Freeze, I believe.
Yeah.
Chris Richards, I believe he started the last
No,
World
he
Cup.
wasn't there. He didn't make it.
Oh,
He
he
was
wasn't there.
injured. Yeah.
Balogun not either.
And
So
Ballo.
Yeah.
so Balogun was there, wasn't he?
Mm.
Was he not there? Okay, so four that were not there out of the starting 11. Um, Still a pretty respectable amount of players that played in the last World Cup.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some good experience.
Yep.
But I can tell you, my point was going to be is that even though those 4 or 5 did not play in the last World Cup, I think arguably they were like they did play in the last World Cup, you know.
Mhm.
And then Berhalter comes in, and I thought Berhalter was,
He
I
Unbelievable.
thought he was
was
great.
this
I
was
mean,
the best game I've ever seen him play.
Solid as a
he
rock.
didn't need to do anything.
Yep.
Like he literally got the ball and just kept possession for us, and
Yep.
there was no mishap or anything when he made the sub.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy. It's
I,
pretty
I
amazing.
I do worry about when we do play a team that maybe wasn't as intimidated, maybe such as Australia. When you put in Berhalter and you maybe give Arston a run, maybe you give Pepe a run or Haji a run. What are they going to do? You know, what are they going to actually perform? Oh, and Reyna scored a great goal.
Mhm.
So, um, you know, almost everybody that was subbed in that match was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now, can they take it to the next level? Or those guys that don't have much experience in the World Cup, how are they going to do when they play someone like Australia?
Well, that's
And
a
I
good.
don't think Australia is that great,
Yeah.
but
You bring up a great point, though. Is can the U.S. now take that to the next level? Because we saw what I mean, Turkey truly dominated Australia. We were sometimes even laughing because they would just kick the ball out of bounds. The Aussies would, right? Or they just launch it over the top. It looked more like a club team, but a very high performing club team that can score because they got fast guys up top. So you can't let them get behind you. That's for sure. And we're going to have to step it up even further. We just need to put that match out of touch and out of reach early on, and then keep the pedal down.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I want to point out though is that Paraguay did try to play us straight up, which created a lot of space for us because
Mhm.
we just outworked them. We were making in some very nice runs in behind.
they just gave it to us.
They struggled with pace. I mean, quite frankly, they struggled with everything. But if Australia plays a low block, those spaces might not be there as much.
Mhm.
So this is where I challenge the U.S. Are we going to be creative enough to break a team down that plays a low block?
Or just play fast enough.
Or
I
play
mean,
fast enough, you know, and
can't slow it down.
yeah. So I would love to go to the pros and cons just from like this. I'll go ahead and start. So the
Well, wait, but
pros.
before you do that, can
Oh,
I say
okay. Go
one
ahead.
thing? I just
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah, yeah.
talk about a couple of real performances. Of course, we all know Pulisic. It was unfortunate that he only got a half. Great for us that he got the half in that he did. Played
Yeah.
brilliantly. I mean, just literally, it didn't matter if they had 1, 2, or 3 guys on him. He was beating them all.
He was.
But you could talk about Balogun and his runs and his ability to finish, his strength.
Great goals.
Everything about him is just phenomenal. Great addition to the U.S. But I'm going to
Yep.
give the props to the one guy that should have scored probably 3 goals in the match, and that was Malik Tillman. That kid is creative.
Yeah, he was
He
good.
ends up
He
in
was real good.
places where you never thought he would get there, and all of a sudden
Yep.
he's there. He makes a block, he makes a stab, he puts a through ball, he does a flick. He's just that creative guy that we haven't had, and he's
I'm
showing it.
glad they started him actually because I didn't
Yeah.
think he was going to start.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't either because there's times to where his work rate is not great. And I thought that his work rate in this game was like completely different than what I'm
Mhm.
used to seeing. And I think that he's a really technically good
Oh,
player,
unbelievable.
but his work rate does struggle at times, but not this time. So
Yeah.
that
Well,
was
I
great.
tell
And
you.
he could be the
I could
orchestrator that we need.
I
Yep.
could tell you that playing for a coach that you don't mind playing for
Mhm. Doesn't hurt,
and
does it?
allows you to believe that you are that good.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes some players just need to know that they could potentially or are that good, whether they are or not. They love to hear it.
Yeah.
And
Did
so,
you see Pochettino run all the way down the
yeah,
field to
Yeah,
absolutely.
hug
that's what I was getting
Gio?
ready to
Reyna
say.
score. He
Yeah.
ran all the way down. I mean, but
Unbelievable.
that's And I got to give credit to like even like Berhalter and Bradley and all those guys. Those guys got really excited when we scored goals. I mean, like I'm not discrediting their passion for the national
No,
team or anything like
absolutely
that.
not. Yeah.
But you look at Pochettino and you see a guy that's coached at a very, very high level in the EPL, and you're like, I kind of idolize this guy. Like maybe he's not as good as Pep right now or Mourinho or anything like that. Um, but he's in the same category. And so when you have somebody that treats you well and someone that can explain tactics to you and give you belief that you can do whatever you want to do if you just play, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to not in this atmosphere just want to go balls to the wall and everything that you possibly do.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be no getting tired. Yeah, it's hot as shit, but there should be no getting tired because your adrenaline's running so
Yeah,
high.
exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jeremy, back to you. Talk about the
Yeah,
pros and cons.
so obviously, I mean, we scored 4 goals in our first World Cup match, the most goals we've scored in any World Cup match. Um, but again, were you about to say something? Oh. So the runs in behind, that's something that we're not used to seeing. You know, the creative runs, the breaking the lines, something that we've been begging for from our midfielders.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it was because Paraguay was that bad or is that we were that good. It could be a
That's a good
combination of
question. Yeah,
both.
that's the same thing I was going to
Um,
say. Yeah.
but it was clean. I mean, look at our goal that we scored, the final goal. There was 26 passes in a row, and that's where everybody's kind of making their jokes about, oh, PSG's in this tournament. How are they allowed? Which is
Yeah.
awesome to see that
Yeah.
we're getting
Yeah,
respect.
yeah.
So that goes to my con. If they destroy this momentum, we either tie or lose to Australia going into our last game against Turkey. It is going to absolutely destroy all of this fans that we're getting,
The
all
hype.
this excitement that we're
All
getting.
the hype. Yep.
Um, Going into that last game, people are going to lose hope, and it's not something we need. So we have to have the best out of these guys in this next game, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be
Yeah.
tougher than this
Yeah,
Paraguay game,
yeah, it's
and
gonna
it's
be.
not because they're a better opponent necessarily. It's just because they're going to fight as hard as they possibly can
Yep.
and play exactly as they did against Turkey because it worked.
Yep.
Well, and
And
we'll see. You know, it could be a case to where the atmosphere is going to be a problem for everybody that plays the U.S.
That's
It
true
could be.
too.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Lake Placid, right? That was all United States fans,
Yeah.
and it's not the easiest to play in. I mean, that's why you have home and away games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got a crowd that is absolutely just stellar and doesn't lose faith, man, you're just running on adrenaline.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to do anything, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the one that brings up the one con, and I gotta throw this on not only Pochettino but the players as well, and that was the one goal that Paraguay scored. I was watching Pochettino, and he was calling everybody to come to the near side of the field because they knew that's where the goalkeeper was going to drive that ball. Well, how does that ball get behind you? There was only one player that was behind that ball, and it happened to bounce right between Richards and I think it was Ream, and a guy gets a flick onto a ball, it goes to his teammate, and then Freeman is completely tucked in. Where was the shape? And once again, the U.S. makes a stupid mistake, a simple mistake, and it costs us a goal.
Yeah,
This
I get what
World
you're
Cup,
saying.
when you make mistakes, you pay for it. And it's going to
I
be
get
that
it.
way because the forwards are just that deadly. And it's all of them.
And
Anyone from any of the teams, they're going to be deadly on their attacks. Those that aren't, they're going to probably lose those games. So
I'm one of the most critical people on the national team, and these guys can ask because they're always like, "Oh, got to be positive," and I lose a lot of positivity with this team because it's frustrating to see the national team not be a good team when they should be
mhm.
or could be. And so I'm going to say for the first time, probably in any U.S. match that I've ever seen, that I don't have a lot of cons. In fact, I don't have any cons. And I'm going to say that, yes, maybe you could say that we did give up or we shouldn't have given up that goal. But I'm going to say that almost every team in the World Cup thus far has given up a goal. So it is very difficult to say that they shouldn't have given up that goal, because there's maybe that's one mistake or the third mistake or fifth mistake that they made the entire game, and they gave up a goal. But everybody so far, we've watched Spain, we've watched Germany, we've watched Brazil, we've watched some pretty big name teams at this point, and every single one of them has given up a goal. I don't except Spain.
You're right.
At
Yeah.
0-0.
Yeah.
But even the German made a mistake, and they punished them.
Yep.
And that is the smallest team in the entire World Cup. That is the
Yeah.
first time that small of a team has ever scored in a World Cup.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
And
all they'll
so-
remember at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my point is that yes, we gave up a goal, but I'm going to say for the first time ever for the U.S. national team, who gives a shit? Honestly,
That's
who
pretty good,
cares?
Jason.
Like, I don't care whether they gave up a goal or not at this point.
Yeah,
They won
it was a
4-1.
dominating performance that was
Uh-uh.
absolutely fun to watch in every
Well,
aspect of the game.
and we made a statement, but this is good. I'm going to give one more con. I'm going to take Jason's place for once in
Well, you
regards to
should,
my.
because I'm not going to give any. I'm telling you right now, I'm not giving any cons.
The only con that I will say is that we need to be more clinical in front of goal.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say
4
yes,
goals is not enough. My God.
no, it
In a
was
World
enough.
Cup?
It was enough. However, we missed 3, 4, 5 sitters. It could have been 7.
Yeah, it
We
could
don't
have
need to
been.
be 7.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been fantastic if it was.
Yeah, 7 to
Can
1
you
would
imagine
have been a
beating
nice
Paraguay
score.
7-1?
Yeah,
I
that
get
would,
it, but Paraguay is not that bad to lose
No,
7-1.
no, they're
Yeah.
not. But it
But they
wasn't
could
because
have.
they were that bad.
Yeah,
but
they could have. Yeah,
But on the other hand, we could have not had a great game, and we could have given up 7 goals.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
my argument as
I
far
get
as
it.
pros and cons. Is it's hard to say anything about cons because we have watched several U.S. games not go our way.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is 100% a pro in any way, shape, or form. It could have been 5-2. It could have been 4-2. And I still would have taken 2 goals, because scoring 4 goals is something that we are not used to doing against teams like that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's a team that is not easy to play against. I mean, it's a team that plays just like Spain sometimes. They're not as good, I know, but like they play that style.
Well, but their
And they're
defense,
Well,
their
all-
defense
any
is always,
CONMEBOL team's going to be
Yeah.
tough.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So they're just
yeah.
all tough.
yeah, and their defense
so
is
for me-
very, very clinical. They know how to
Yeah.
support each other and cover each other. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I compare them. I'll be honest with you. I think Brazil's probably a little better this World Cup, but I don't know that Brazil is much different than Paraguay.
Mhm.
I really don't. I didn't see anything in Brazil that would have been different from what the U.S. did to Paraguay. Like
Right.
they have a couple more dangerous players, obviously. But I can tell you right now, I would put our midfield up against, and again, this is the first time I'm ever going to say this.
Wow.
I would have put our midfield up against
You need to
Brazil's
start throwing the
midfield
applause
in a
on the.
second. In
Yeah,
a second.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have had any worry or any trouble. I think they would have had to make 2 subs early because we were flying past them.
Mhm.
Well,
I
that's
don't
because you didn't see Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes and
Oh, they were,
Paqueta's parachute on their backs.
Well, I get it. I
yeah,
mean,
they were getting
I've
eaten up.
never seen.
They were getting eaten
I
up.
thought the national team had the same 3 players in the midfield for I don't know how long, but I
Yeah.
could tell you right now, Brazil, those are the exact same players.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not anything different about any of them.
They were in the 1978 World Cup, I
Yeah, I mean
believe.
they were in the. I mean they were, and I think, trust me, and I'm not knocking Brazil's midfield. I'm just saying that midfield is not going to be successful in this World Cup. They're
No
all
way.
very, very, very good players. Very, very good players. They cannot play together because they are all about the equal of speed. They are all technical players that if you put pressure on them, they're going to give it up because they're not quick enough to get away from you. And you're going to one pickoff. You're going to run past 2
Yeah,
of them,
two, at
and the
least
other
2
one
of them.
can't,
Yeah.
and the other one can't catch up to you. So it's automatically you're past the midfield
Yeah.
with 1 mistake.
Or they're going to get a lot of yellow cards because they're just going to whack you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I've really been able to say we are probably better than Brazil right now. We're probably better than Uruguay right now. I would say that I think Spain probably would have struggled with us as well. But as we were talking earlier, what's one thing that you've noticed about these teams that are struggling?
They're not losing.
No, there's one thing that is in common
They're
about
not
these.
working very hard.
Well, so the bigger, and we had this conversation earlier as
Yeah.
well. So that's another thing
Yeah.
is the bigger teams don't support each other as well as the teams that are fighting to win.
Yeah.
And so that's causing a problem.
Mhm.
But there's still one more thing that most of these teams do not have.
Forward.
They don't have a forward.
Yeah.
Right? They just don't have a forward. Turkey doesn't have a forward that's going to go and score your goals. They have a bunch of players around that if they pass it to him in a good spot, he's probably going to finish it. But
Mhm.
they don't have a forward such as what Balogun did.
That's a good point.
Balogun is that's the first time that I saw him get into spaces behind
Yep.
behind the defenders, and first time I saw him pick up the ball and run at players and score a goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't have it. Brazil does not have it. And I think Thiago's good.
And you know,
He touched the ball maybe 5 times.
the one team that actually, like, because I completely agree with you. I think Balogun was probably the best forward we've seen so far, the best 9.
I mean, Havertz was pretty good.
Well, yeah, he was. That's true. But with that being said, Sweden was an extremely big surprise to me. I
Did it?
thought Isak and Gyökeres
Tough.
looked phenomenal together.
Yeah.
There's 2 top level strikers, man.
I mean,
Yep.
2 big time strikers. So,
Yep.
yeah,
it's just
but
a matter if they can get them the ball because
Yeah.
they pick up the ball pretty close to midfield, and
Yeah, they have to do a lot of work to make
they
it
got to
happen.
do a lot of work
Mhm.
after midfield.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
But that's the thing. That's the same thing. Like Portugal. I mean, if they're going to rely on Cristiano Ronaldo to score their goals, then they're going to struggle too. Because, in my opinion, I, I just don't see it. I mean, the 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 biggest surprise for me was that Lukaku didn't start, and I know he's getting a little bit older. And my God, I don't know if he grew in size or what he did.
He's
He
a
looks twice
monster.
as big as what he. My
He is a
God.
monster.
And
Yeah.
he comes in and like within 20 seconds causes a goal.
Yeah.
So like that is other than I mean, that's a prime example, to be honest with you. So I think that Belgium struggled with a forward.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
didn't
they did.
have that forward that was getting in and causing havoc.
Yep.
As soon as Lukaku goes in, that's coincidence that he
changed the whole
scores
game.
a goal 20 seconds after he goes in?
Well,
Because he's a true forward.
yeah.
The US has a true
turned
forward.
off for a second. They got behind him, and
Yeah,
you're not
absolutely.
going to stop the tank. That
Not
Lukaku
at all.
literally basically held off 2 players and forced the own goal. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Egypt, take Egypt. You think Egypt was going to be really good? They're relying on solid as scores goals.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
yeah,
The teams that are going to be successful, I'm telling you right now, Spain, after seeing Spain, I actually had them pick to go to the final. Spain is going to struggle because they don't have a forward. Now, when Yamal went in, that was pretty impressive, but
Yeah.
they don't have a forward. I'm not saying they don't have good players that play up front. They don't have a forward. Who else was there? Belgium. They didn't have a forward. Who else is big? Sweden had 2 good forwards.
Yep.
So it's just the trend. If you have a forward,
yeah.
you're going to
Yep.
probably
Do
win the
pretty
game.
well. Yeah. Do pretty
Yes.
well. But
Tunisia,
again,
no
it's
forward.
it's against the competition. I mean, Germany's game was pretty much a practice session game, quite honestly.
They have like 4 forwards running at them. They're in the mid. They
Exactly.
put forwards in the midfield, and
Exactly.
so they're just constantly running at you.
Yeah. So all right. So let's get this transitioned over and let's talk about prep for the Aussies and formations and lineups. What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, so it's going to be an interesting choice on what Poach does. Obviously, we know that they have 2 very dangerous forwards, both strong, fast guys. One is a smaller guy, but he's extremely strong. The other guy's massive, and they work well together. And all they try to do is just get in behind. So, do you start with Tim Ream as your center back, knowing that he may struggle with the pace? As your captain, he probably does, but Do you take a chance on a Mark McKenzie or an Austin Trusty? Obviously, they didn't play in the first game, so you got to consider that too. My worry is that if you start with Tim Ream, we give up a goal.
Mhm.
Australia is
Packs
going
it
to be
in,
dangerous.
and
They
then
will
they
be
pack it in.
dangerous.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is I'm not talking dangerous from a attacking aspect. I'm talking dangerous that they are going to absolutely do whatever they can to put their bodies on the line to block everything we do.
Yep.
Do we have the creativity to break that down? We cannot give up the first goal. Just simply cannot.
Yep. Keep
So that'll
going.
be an interesting choice.
Yeah, so keep going. What do you think the lineup? Should the formation stay the same? Players stay the same, or do you get the
I
same
think
try to get the same result out of a group of new players that haven't run a game yet?
you don't change anything with the exception of what I just brought up at all. You must ride on the team that just scored 3 goals in the first half of their first World Cup game. If you start changing things, you're breaking momentum of these guys down. You're breaking that cohesion, that team chemistry. Let them go out there and just and do what they did in the first game. And you start making a little bit more changes if it's not working.
Well, I'm gonna throw a wrinkle at you, but go ahead, Jason. What do you think?
So I think it's going to be the same starting lineup. The only adjustment that might be made, because I thought Way actually played pretty well as a winger, is maybe drop Dest for his experience to play against arguably Australia's most dangerous player. And the reason I say that is because Freeman is very, very new to this. And the second he gets beat for the first time or the second time, he's going to be terrified. And Dest, I don't know that is if he gets beat the first or second time is going to get rattled like that. I think he's going to get pissed off. And so you only have to worry if you looked how Australia played, they hardly used the right side at all. They went to the left side almost every time. And so I don't think Ream is going to have a problem because he's just there. He's going to win the balls out of the air. He's going to pick passes off. He's going to pick services off. He's there for more of a big body. I think that right back is probably the only adjustment that could be made. I don't. Again, I don't think Freeman couldn't handle him. I just don't know. Do you punish Dest for not having the greatest game in the first match against Paraguay? Didn't do anything bad, but didn't really do anything special. Because I think Weah starts there in that game. And so do you just bench Dest, one of you guys that have been there for you for the past, 8 years, last World Cup as well?
Well,
For
let me
a
ask you.
newbie?
Let me ask both you guys this question. So, they seem to have come together as a good group, as a family, and
Yep.
I recognize that as they were all just jumping all over each other and congratulating each other from goal number 1 to goal number 4.
Hell, they were probably as surprised that they were winning 4-1 than we were.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. They
For
were probably
sure.
going, "Holy crap!"
Pochettino was so excited. I mean, just because he was
Yep.
like, "Oh, hell, I didn't expect that."
So you guys have been there before. You've been in high level club competitions. You're playing against some teams that you think are, I remember going to the national championship series with you, Jason, and so those teams some of them were just brilliant.
Yeah,
And yet you were right there with them. And you had to make adjustments
Are you
based
talking
on
about when I was coaching?
based on those
Yeah.
teams that you were playing. And Jeremy, you've done the same thing. So I'm going to throw something different. I think because you've got a group of guys that are together and they're confident in each other, I'd love to be able to see you rest somebody like a Dest, put Weah in, keep Freeman in
Rest them for what?
for the next games, and because not a lot of people get to do that. I mean, you might get 2 or 3 subs you
I
know,
get
that
it,
are
but you
that are
can't
gonna get.
rest them in a game that you guys are both 1-0.
I get that, but I'm just saying if you can get the
So
same
are you saying that?
production, if you
I
can
was
get
getting
the
ready to
same
say.
production out of Weah that you could get out of Dest, and you've got Freeman who's got the experience in
He doesn't
European
have any
football.
experience, so that's
In
my
European
point.
football, he does though, right? And is that Valencia? I think he plays for.
Couple months.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's grown into that position very well. And I'm not saying that he couldn't get beat. He could, but he's got the speed. He's got the strength. And then you pull Ream, even though he's your captain, because he doesn't have the speed, and you've got Trusty or McKenzie that can go in there and match up one-on-one with those guys. Uh,
Not happening.
Pulisic,
So the way that I think of
being
it is,
injured, maybe you put in somebody like an Arfston, or you put Berhalter and start him in the position. I'm just saying I'm really torn between this, because I think we could put together another group that could have a similar performance.
I think that we must put all of our eggs in this one basket. You must win this game.
You go for it. Everything is go for it.
And if
Every
you're,
game that you play, you go for it.
it's not about sharing time. These guys have been training. They've been going through preseason. They've been doing all that they've been doing to prepare for this World Cup. If we're having to rotate players in the second game of the tournament against another team that won their first game, it's not a depth thing. I don't think France would do that, to be honest with you.
And now that's a
However,
great point, but let me pause you real quick. So how is Australia, excuse me, Australia is going to look at what we did to Paraguay, and they're going to adjust their team and how they're going to attack based on that, right? This is what the United States is going to do. This is how they're going to be high pressuring you. This is how we got to get the ball over the top. I'm just saying
but I'm going to,
if you throw something different at them that they haven't prepared for, I'm not sure that they can make the adjustment.
So are you talking about switching formations and personnel?
I think
because they're going to play the same way either way. It's a matter of us breaking them down. I don't care what formation we play.
So here is the risk that is at hand. It doesn't get easier from this point. So if you somehow lose to Australia and think that Turkey is going to be an automatic loss because Australia beat them 2-0, you're insane, because that's desperation mode.
Right.
And so you are, if that happens, and just say we tie Turkey, as Jeremy was mentioning, kind of we've busted our confidence.
Yeah, the gaming is almost worthless at this point now.
Mm-hmm.
And we finished third. Now we've got a pretty good goal differential now, so that's a good help for finishing third. You are running into a monster in the 32.
Yeah.
Probably a monster that you're not going to beat. Now you could, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
Even finishing second, you're probably you're the way things have gone, it's potentially Belgium or Spain or Brazil or Morocco.
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't want to finish second. And so even if you tie Australia, what happens if you tie the third game? Well, then now it's Australia's already gotten rid of Turkey. I mean, they won 2-0. So now we've got to play them, and they've got to play Paraguay. That who knows what's going to happen the second time they play. I mean, I would imagine Turkey is going to win.
You would think, but
so now you're playing a game that I don't think you want to be playing with. I'm just going to say that. I would say you play your 15 or 16 guys that you've been playing. The other ones are going to have to sit their asses there and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and that's what worries me so much is that, we won 4-1. It was one of the greatest wins that we've had ever, like I mentioned, in a World Cup. in most World Cups that we've played, we've had to rely on results the last day
Mm-hmm.
for most of them. I just personally want to see them go for it against Australia.
Win all
And
three games.
if they go put on another 4 goals on Australia, everybody's going to be like, "Oh shit,
Holy crap! Yeah.
we want to avoid them by all means."
Yep. Yep.
Because I can tell you right now, after watching that Australia-Turkey game, Turkey's defense is not great.
Nope.
And if that game can become a 2 or 3-0 win too, and we win this group with 11 plus goal differential,
People are
I
going to
think
take
everybody
notice.
will want to avoid us. And we got the home field advantage.
Yeah.
You know, I
Not that the goal differential matters much when you going into the
no.
next round. Going into
But
the
I'm
next
just
round.
saying, like smashing 3 quality teams.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
but you could arguably be the number one if it was seeded, the number one seed of the entire World Cup.
Yeah.
Just that mindset that you say that your group was not easy, and you guys are the number one seed in the entire World Cup
Mhm.
after
Yeah.
the first round.
Yeah.
Like that there is a confidence builder. And now you're starting to feel, well, shit,
We could beat anybody.
we can pretty much. I mean, we've been watching these teams, and maybe these teams are nervous as well playing against. But
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with Spain. I don't think they have a forward. I'm not impressed with Brazil in any way, shape, or form, because I think that they're trying to play like Brazil. They just don't have the personnel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Portugal, if they're relying on Ronaldo to score their goals, they're in trouble. So you're starting to look at these teams and saying, man, they don't
And
have a lot of firepower. They just don't. And we're pretty organized, and we've got an offense that has given some trouble to defenders.
Mhm.
So you start looking at, well, we really are kind of a powerhouse amongst some of these bigger teams.
Yeah,
Now, I
I
think
get you.
France is going to be a pain in the butt.
I get you,
And I
but
think Argentina, I
uh,
know they're a little older. I think they're going to be a pain in the butt.
oh yeah,
England.
even
England is
Spain
gonna
and
be-
England, they're all going to be there.
England would be the worst matchup for us, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, we've never lost to them in a World Cup.
Isn't that amazing?
I
So my question is though,
they're pretty good.
my question is, we anticipate that Australia is going to go a 5-4-1. There's not much space in a 5-4-1. 5 backs, 4 midfielders. It's hard to play through balls. It's hard to do those unique kind of things. So it's going to take somebody like Pulisic or Tillman or Arfston beating you one-on-one, right? You got to get through that first layer.
Well,
to where somebody's got to step to you, which creates the space behind. And and that's why I'm saying, I think, if Pulisic's got any injury at all, man, get a little bit creative with that lineup, even if you use the same formation.
so what Australia kind of baits us in a
4-3-3.
way. So they kind of play a 5-3-2. Those 2 guys just stand up top and just wait and just launch it.
Yeah.
Kick it to them.
Yeah. So we might need to push more numbers forward. With that being said, we can't go 2v2 with those guys. They'll burn
forward,
us.
If you start putting guys forward, then you're going to have to.
But that's my point.
Can't play with
only the 2 guys are going to get forward on their team. You keep the 3 backs, goal side of them. Don't let them get behind you, and you've got the cover that you need. And make sure Tyler Adams holds that middle to stop that really fast midfielder from coming through.
If you want me to be honest with you, I don't think you're going to have to worry about either one of those forwards for Australia. I don't think they're going to get the ball.
So it's just a matter of us breaking them down and not tying the game.
I think they'll defend with, heck, those guys might not even start. I mean, Australia might say, look, let's just defend. I mean, and then we'll put those guys in the last 20, 30 minutes
when everybody's fatigued and hope they can
with
run
tired
by
legs and see what we can get. I mean, what do they need to score for? They're tied with us right now.
Yeah.
They don't need to. They don't need to. They get a tie out of us. they'll take their chances with Paraguay to win the group.
Yep.
They know we got to play Turkey.
That's true.
And Turkey, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to give us more trouble than anybody in the group because that is the style they play.
Yeah, they have a good style of soccer. Yeah,
But again, they're going to score.
They're going to be
get a lot of chances,
but they're going to create a lot.
run.
They're going to have a lot of gaps in their defense.
I get it, but they are going to run.
Yeah, they don't like players running at them.
And they're going to run.
Yeah,
and they move the ball quick. I mean,
yeah, they're good. They're good.
That's Arda
I was impressed.
Güler,
I was Arda Güler and Keenan Yildiz. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So just real quick, I just back on the U.S. topic. I mean, how are we feeling about Pulisic? Do you think it was more tactical, or we think that he is dealing with an injury?
No, I think Poach said today. I read
he
the
got
article.
Kicked in the back of the calf.
I know. Yeah, but they said that
he got kicked in the calf.
He's looking
Pulley.
Good. He's looking good.
Ouch.
Good.
Yeah, he's
Pulley
Posh said he's looking good.
Stuff a lot.
Pulisic trains apart. Posh says U.S. star's good.
I mean, yeah, he's fine. They pulled him out because he said he was
from ESPN.
Tight.
Yeah. I think if Pulisic's on, the only way the Aussies are going to stop him is to hack him like they did in the first game when we beat them 2-1.
Yeah, but we don't want that either.
Well, but I mean, that's what they're going to do.
If he's injured for the third game, that's not a good start if we tie this game.
Right. That's why I'm saying. So why don't you throw something different at Australia that they're not expecting?
They scored 3 goals in the first half. I don't think you need to.
I think you start Weah and you push Desta right back.
Interesting.
I think you take out Tim Way. I think you take out Tim Ream just to shore up our defense. But
El Capitan is never coming.
But I actually thought he played pretty well in the first game. So
he did. He looked really good. Yeah.
He disrupts.
Yep.
So,
but he sure is.
All I know is it's a. Oh, go ahead.
No, he's our new Captain America, Jeremy. He's not going to come out.
The old Captain America. Yeah.
Zero chance.
Yeah, he's the old one.
Yep.
He's the OG Captain America.
Yeah, the old guy, no doubt about it. So anyway, Jason, over to you. Any last comments?
No, I'm really, really excited. I'm just going to mention that I've been so critical of this team, and I'm happy that I got slapped in the face with it this time because I think if I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling and I'm feeling a little more confident and I can say that we could potentially be better than some of the best teams in the world, like that, they have to feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have to, in their mind, say, guys, we're there.
We're that good.
I mean,
we're that good. Australia is not going to beat us.
Well,
or tie us.
We are. I'm not going to say that good. I'm going to say we are playing that well, or we played that well, and we've come together a little bit. We've got a lot of fans watching us right now that are rooting for us, even amongst the world. Other countries are probably rooting for the U.S. I'll be honest with you; they probably are. So I think I really, and I know it's so early to say, but I really just say go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. There's nothing. The worst that could happen at this point is maybe you accidentally lose to Australia or tie Turkey or vice versa, or however it could happen. But at this point, I mean, if you play well, there's no chance in hell you're not winning the group.
Right.
Right. If you play well in the 32, more than likely, there's no chance in hell you're losing that game. And then it just gets a little bit better from that point. But if you get a good seed to begin with, you're going to play a little weaker team maybe in the 32.
Yeah.
But then you go to the sixth or the quarterfinals, and who knows? Maybe you play someone like Egypt or someone like that.
Could be.
But do we have a little bit of fear that if we do get first, we might get stuck with an extremely good, or at least an expectingly good team in third place, just based on the results that are coming lately?
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say third place. No, and I don't know how they determine that. So I don't know who.
It's the top 8.
I know, but the top players, do they always play the third seed?
Oh, I
Is
don't
that
know. No, I
that's
have
what
no
I'm saying.
idea.
I don't even
Yeah.
know if that's the case.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the first place seed plays whatever group they were given in the 32.
Mhm.
So it might not even be a third place team. It could be a second place team.
Right. Yeah.
So like I could tell you this, if we play the second place team of Argentina's group or something like that, then I think we're probably okay. Canada's group, same thing. Mexico's group, same thing. And it just Brazil's probably where it gets a little bit hard because it could flip flop between Brazil and Morocco. And I really don't want to play those two teams. I'll be honest. I'd play Brazil before Morocco, and then
I'm
you start
pretty.
getting into Netherlands and Japan, and it just doesn't get
Well,
easier.
that's
I
what the
guess
World
is my
Cup is.
point.
It's not going to get easy, right?
But I guess my
Yeah.
point is that if you finish second or third, you're in real trouble because there's just too many 1 and 2 seeds that are going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to have to be perfect against those teams.
I could be completely wrong. I'll be honest with you, but I want to say that we are lumped up with Brazil's group.
Well, that's what I thought as well. So we would play.
But I could be completely wrong. I don't know why I feel like that's the case. But
I think it was. And so the thing is, though, if the third place doesn't come out of there, then we would play Brazil or Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. Yeah, I'm excited for the game. I'm excited to see
ecstatic.
Mexico and Canada play as well. You know, I'd like to see Canada get their win.
Is that Thursday? Is that Thursday, Friday again,
I believe so.
or Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah, I agree.
Hey, I pull for all the CONCACAF teams.
Is that Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday?
Thursday, Friday. Yep.
7 days gap.
7 days.
Yep.
So they play Friday at 3 US.
Yep. You know, and that's another good thing. That's the early morning hours for Australia. Their body and their mind.
Yeah, and they had a less amount of time of recovery. They played Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
that's the killer thing as well. You know, coaching club soccer all the way through here, watching if you're playing, we'll say in the Midwest or the East Coast, and you're playing California teams or Seattle teams that are 3 hours behind. And so if you have a game at like 9 o'clock at night,
yeah,
their game is starting at like midnight.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how the times work out.
Yeah.
I know it.
And it does. It
help
affects
everybody.
You. Yeah, your body,
crazy.
your body is making the adjustment.
Oh yeah. You're asking to get adjusted within like a week.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Craziness.
Hard to do. So, all right. Well, that was great. I think, what do we call this? A wrap? Always wonderful seeing the two of you. Great discussion. And, I believe that we will win.
Vital 3 points. Let's hope.
Vital 3. I believe that we will win.
And we will probably do another podcast. We'll say, maybe Friday night, maybe Saturday, just to recap the U.S. game again.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the exciting part about this podcast right now is that, or I should say the beauty of this podcast is we can do it whenever we want. So I think right now the excitement for the national team is to do it right after the game, I think is what we should have special editions, if you will, after every U.S. game.
Well, unfortunately, we have to wait on you to decide.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Get your scheduling together, okay? Yeah. All right. Well, love you guys. Great discussion. Let's call it a wrap.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, guys.